Hello again. Today's video will be about blue light filters. This topic is particularly controversial because CBC Marketplace published an article on it that delved into the scary and misleading sales pitches to sell blue light lenses. So the question is, what does the research look like? I think it's important to discuss what blue light does, what blue light filters are, and whether or not they work. So the first question, what is blue light and why do we care about it as practitioners? If we think back to our old science classes, we know that light is a spectrum of wavelengths that run from radio waves all the way to gamma rays. Those wavelengths are measured in nanometers, and the visible light spectrum runs from 380 nanometers to about 740 nanometers, or in other words, from blue to red. When we refer to blue light, it does depend on the definition. So I would say in most cases, blue light refers to ultraviolet light and then the shortest visible light spectrum. So that would run anywhere from about 350 nanometers to 500 nanometers. The biggest source of blue light is actually the sun. Other sources of blue light include more man-made items like fluorescent lights, LED lights, tablets, computers, phones, TVs, display screens, and others. So then the next question is, why do we get concerned about blue light? Blue light, by this definition, is thought to be a contributing factor in the development of eye disease, digital eye strain, and poor sleep quality. The next question then is, can research actually show that blue light does contribute to those factors? There is strong evidence supported by research of the association between UV light and eyelid malignancies, photokeratitis, CDK, pterygium, and cortical cataracts. The association between UV and other eye diseases, including macular degeneration, is limited or insufficient at this time. When it comes to digital eye strain, the thought is that blue light scatters more in the eye, which makes it harder to focus on the retina, thus resulting in more eye strain. However, really no research has backed up this claim. So at this point, that's really just a theory. To know whether or not blue light affects sleep quality, we kind of have to know a little bit more about sleep. Melatonin is a hormone that is produced by the brain in response to darkness. It helps with your circadian rhythm, or your 24-hour clock, some people know it by, and with sleep. The theory is that mistimed exposure to light or blue light actually disrupts that circadian rhythm, causing future health impacts. Preliminary research did show an association between light exposure and the impact on the circadian rhythm. A systematic review of the literature. If you're not familiar with a systematic review, it is considered the top dog of research. These reviews formulate a clear question and then acquire and appraise all of the relevant research answering that question. After compiling the research, they decide which studies to keep and which studies to not use based on things like biases or their method of study. In some cases, statistical analysis is done to summarize the results of the included studies. A systematic review of the literature was done by Tahkamo et al., and they showed that it did in fact support an association between light pollution and circadian rhythm. What they found was that 2 hours of exposure to light does in fact suppress melatonin. The maximum melatonin suppressing effect of light was achieved at the shortest wavelengths, around 424 nanometers. However, they also found melatonin concentration recovers pretty quickly within about 15 minutes of stopping that exposure to light. The next question then is, what are blue blocking filters, or what are blue blocking glasses? Blue blocking filters are coatings on the lenses that reduce the amount of blue light that makes it through the lens to the eye. These coatings usually have some kind of residual yellow hue. The last and likely most important question is, do blue blocking filters work? Another systematic review was done by Lawrenson et al., where they set out to answer 4 questions. They wanted to know, number 1, compared to non-blue blocking, do blue blocking lenses enhance visual performance? 2, do they improve visual comfort or reduce symptoms of visual fatigue? 3, do they protect the macula and preserve macular function? And 4, do they affect alertness and or sleep quality? Now, what they mean by macula, that's an area of the retina where we get our crystal clear central vision. So it's arguably one of the most important parts of the retina. When you hear about people being affected by macular degeneration, that's that area of the eye that is affected. Within this systematic review, they started with about 118 studies and wound up only including 3 in the review. The statistical analysis showed, number 1, no enhancement in visual performance. Number 2, weak association between high blue blocking lenses and less fatigue with computer use. Number 3, they had no results at all to analyze. And number 4, some small improvement, if any, on sleep quality. Because they had no results on their question about macular health, these very smart people did another systematic review, this time looking at the effects of blue filtering intraocular lenses on macular health. And they were unable to draw reliable conclusions on the relation to longer-term effects on macular health. This means based on the scientific evidence that's available now, we can't say that blue light filtering coatings are necessary or useful. Obviously, every case is different. Usually what I tell patients is that if they do have some kind of interest in the coating, it's not going to hurt to try it out on one pair of glasses. Depending on the cost, it can run you anywhere from, I would say, about $20 extra to $50 extra, depending on the brand. So just as a summary, here's what we can say about blue light blocking glasses. There is a weak association in terms of less fatigue when using the computer. There is a weak association in terms of sleep improvement or sleep quality. There is no improvement on visual performance, and there's just not enough studies on the benefits in terms of macular health. We do our best to keep up to date on the new science flowing in, so if there is something that changes our opinion, we will be sure to let you know.
As always, thanks for watching, and check out some of our other videos. If you have suggestions for other video topics, let us know.